Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to be doing. Gosh, there's a lot of things I wanted to say, but I always forget. um, so I got this from a relative of mine, and it was something for Christmas. Um, and I decided to spray a couple sprays around the room. Because I never thought that you could just use, or that you couldn't just use incense, and I never thought about that, like sort of incense stuff, like stuff. So, but anyway, I'll get into that in a few minutes. So I was called today by a intuition in me that was brought up with something. Um, People not understanding that this tool is completely safe. There's nothing that is odds or loose ends. Um, but I still feel like people don't understand. It's kind of, to be honest, in retrospect, everything that has been talked about with this board as a Ouija board or source of drama was all, literally, all of it has been based off of false things that people said of Hollywood, because Hollywood wanted to make something secret for them. They took and fueled it with drama and false lies, and they put the Kabbalists into the practice of these stuff. However, I do want to let you guys know, though, that this is not going to be a PG-13 video. This is not going to be a fun video that I want to do. More per se, it's probably going to be something that you should know is that once you are that open portal, like in your third eye, you can start to remember some things as you were children, like in this life or the next. Or you might feel like you kind of really don't fit in, but you kind of have molded your way through. Empathic people, I'm an empath, so I feel whatever I feel is happening, so that is my reality. If I feel it and I already know it exists, that's already my third eye working, and it's kind of a display to announce myself as kind of being a psychic, but I don't really look at it as kind of a thing. I'm not doing this for views. I'm just doing this because out of the kindness and love of my heart is that I want people to be real when they're working with spirits, because they're very loving. They go out of odds and ends just to be in this zone on our level, to see us barely, for us to see them. And a lot of these can be explained as bizarre scenarios with people having conditions which are psychological. But yet again, I'd say talk to doctors, because those are your best friends. Because not everything is spiritual, not everything is defined in that type of way of a science just yet. It's probably going to be thousands of years, maybe. It could be probably, maybe a little bit shorter, but it depends on how fast technology kicks in. When technology kicks in, we'll know what we can do with synthetic living pieces of technology, which is way out there, which I won't get into. Because it's way out there, but it's not that I don't like it. It's just more that it takes too long. It could take a lot for me to explain this stuff. But we shall we see? Shall we see? Okay, so I got my board right here. I have a little issue with showing this on camera, is that it's harder for you guys to see where it's moving to. So eventually I'm going to have to get a mirror, because I've seen somebody do that. I'm going to have to get some tools and supplies, so it might be a little while, kind of a big while. But shall we see? Okay, so Ouija, Ouija. Okay, so um, account from all the other troubling thoughts that I come across in my life, they believe that it's bad for me to bring that up with you guys. But I really don't like to get too personal in my videos. But I just don't know what to talk about. Maybe I should ask them. What do you think I should talk? Oh, talk about bad things are going to happen. What bad things do you mean? I think you know. Was that thing that happened to me last night? No. Was it my migraine? Okay. I'm sorry I'm asking a little bit too quickly. I mean, wrong, you know. Eh, it's all right. I've heard your voice in my or our house. You're talking about this house? Yes. Adam, could you tell people what I look like? Okay, you want me to tell them what you look like? You kind of, you're a woman, right? Okay, yeah. So until I know what you want me to say, I want you to be honest. Am I a woman? And I want you to be honest with me. You can be whatever you want. Hi. It's exactly true. So somebody just came in right now with this. This was another energy. This was one of my guides. So I have oodles of guides. One of the things is I won't cut you guys off short. You do your own thing. You guys are good. When I started having visions, and it was like when I was like, I guess the first time it happened was when I started getting really bad migraines. And then I got diagnosed with a brain tumor. Um, I got a surgery done for that, a neurosurgery, and a titanium thing put in my head. So a lot of my life has been challenging, but it doesn't bother me. It's just it's harder for me to explain something that people would never believe to a fault, and I just don't believe that a lot of people are going to see it my way. I don't think that I can show it really my way, because it's not my way at all. And that's when they believe that it's like a disorder. I guess they can keep on hoping. But when I get really worried, what I do is I drink water. I go to my room sometimes because I love it, because I get to use my Ouija board on myself for my own personal needs. And I get to enjoy meditation. A lot of my family doesn't really know I do this, though. They don't. They probably don't even know I have a YouTube account. But that's okay. um, some of the few out there would know, but I already know in the future there's going to be some crazy videos, like very crazy. Like, yeah. I had a when I was like, I think, like, I don't know, um, I was 18. I think it was 18. I was actually using my first actual Ouija board from a friend. And I predicted that a song would come out by Lady Gaga, and ever since I was so hardcore into her music. The song that I predicted was Donatella, or it was something along the fashion of his love, something like that. It was a little off, because I didn't know at that time that a lot of the stuff, when you're going through kind of like a psychotic break, you start to really trail off in your own time, and you don't talk for tons of times. Like, I would have like these big moments where I would feel so peaceful, and just so at bliss. And then when I started feeling different, it was kind of more where I was actually going through so many stuff at that time. I was being bullied, I was being harassed, that kind of cliche story. But it wasn't at all what I was expecting. It was nasty, and it was horrible. I went home, kind of trying to self isolate myself, because I didn't know how to understand what people could think of me, because I didn't know how to understand what to think of myself. So the thing that helped me actually was my spirits and my Ouija board. And I want to tell you, though, is that if you're kind of younger, this is not a video for you, because it's not that it's, I mean, this part could kind of relate, but if you think that a Ouija board is something that you can play around with, or do whatever you want, or manipulate it, or say you're talking to the dead, which it is, different things, though, is that it's not meant for that. It's meant for kind of, it's a special and rare gift that we each all have. That isn't, it doesn't mean that you can't do this. It means that you should have the ability to understand that you're able to do all of this, but you've got to work for it. You got to really push yourself through, climb those walls, walk those mountains, and go down the hottest and hottest of times in your life, where you feel like you're burning up. It doesn't refer to any analogy, though, but like, kind of, in pain. Being in pain is not fun. um I had a lot of problems, growing up, going through teenage years, because I was moody. I was really moody, bullying, and my parents didn't know what to do. So, but it's okay, because I still love everybody. I am a survivor. But some of the stuff I get a little brought into, is I get a little focused, and it feels so calming. So yeah, you can see how the spiritual side of me is coming back in, because I'm feeling a little giggly. Um, I love when they come through. I don't know names, but I can go through names. I can definitely go through names. One of the favorite ones that I really liked was Yeshua. He was He's really quiet. He's very serene. It almost feels like he's this old man, but he has nature growing all around him. He looks like he has mushrooms and a like cloth, and but it's just like streams of vines and those eyes that are just. But what I really found out was that he's a giant, and I didn't know that. But it makes sense now, because to me that's more beautiful, with the fact that his, everything about him, it's beautiful. It's fantastic. But the lots of Christians that believe that Jesus may have been a person. Either way, we can agree on that. But I think that some of the things that happened were introduced very harshly because a Slavic system was in play, and there was monarchies that wanted to own all of that information. So they put a heavy amount of what could be known as the biggest lie of your life ever. If you feel like you have any guilt or shame, feel like you are being denied who you are, you should really look into that. You should look into who told you that. Who told you that you were not yourself, not who you are, or imperfect, or little or less than perfect. It's important to know that you can trust yourself. If you doubt yourself the least, you're putting it out there that people really don't know you, and you're not knowing the real you. So I know myself. I really do. I know myself 100%. But the question is, when you go to a spirit, how are you going to feel when you know yourself 100%? The interesting thing, because spirit isn't going to defy you. Spirit isn't going to, you know, hurt or harass you. Spirits are, they get, think about this. If I sent a god to go work for another god to do a deed, which would be to send, a hex or curse one way, I wouldn't do that though, because I don't do that. I kind of get into the orchestrated fulfillments of each person's um, chemistry, but I don't go into that. Sometimes I'll connect to their waves, and some stuff, but I don't really think that people think about it in a normal way. It's just what it is. But so I'm going to do a candle. Oh, okay, that's not hot. Okay, gosh. So I have a candle right here. And I'm going to start to channel. As I go into channeling, you'll see me drift off a little bit, and you'll see a lot of different features, a lot of different, scenarios, which I don't know at all. I don't know. I feel like I'm making it up, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know. Like I just have no control. I have a control over how the feed goes through, but it's kind of like, if you see how you look in the mirror some days, you will see how your eyes are dilated differently. You'll understand that when you do the channel, you'll you'll notice interesting things. So, but I'm gonna go into that. So, okay. There's a starship far off in this cluster zone. I don't know what this is, but it's almost like a triangle, but it's indented. So it's kind of like a curve, but it's like a curve and a triangle. So it looks like a little spear impacted it, but it's still a triangle. I'm getting these pictures that there's these people on this, whatever this is. I think it's some sort of UFO thing, and that they're very human like. Some of them look a little different. Some of them look they have different facial structure features, but they all look generally human. Amongst them though, there are some tall whites. Some of them that have big heads. it almost feels like this is a living situation. This feels like something where people live, collect, and they just thrive. It feels like a happy place, but it feels very structured. It feels so structured that there isn't any room for flaws. Almost like this structure was built for this to mimic a living environment meant for people to see or hear. And I feel like this environment is something that is a far out that I don't understand. It feels like I'm almost on the other side, but there's a wall right here. And when I try to go in, it's like, boop, nope, you can't go in. Boop, nope, you can't go in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them, please, if I can come in. So it's going through all the way. Okay, I'm in. So I came in with love, and that's how I got in. But somebody's trying to push me out because they don't want this feed going out in public. So it seems that some of the guys in this ship are kind of chatty. They seem to be intellectuals. They seem to be coherent of what I'm saying. They seem to feel and seem at awe. I don't know why I see this, but I see a 3D structure of our planet in different layers, though. There's different layers. It's almost like there's spear after spear after spear after spear after spear, but it's almost oh, okay. So this is they're going by different planets. So they go from size to size to size to size to size. This is a thing that I've seen in structures when I've channeled before, is that when they have stuff like this, it's almost like a fit by fit by fit model where they have this 3D holographic visual, and they can pull up basically everything that is within that planet that they've came to, visited, understood, left stuff, archaic memories and knowledge behind. But oh, there's a woman approaching me. She sounds like a little girl, but I don't feel like she is a little girl. She seems like she's smart. She seems like she's calm, she's sweet, she seems young, so that's why I feel like she's young. But it almost looks like I'm looking at her like 10 or 20 or 30 years older, and I don't know why, but she's wanting me to give this message to you guys. She's saying, whatever you feel, you've got to understand that relaxation is the key to channeling. Relaxation is the key to channeling. You'll understand when you go by the system of who you are first, how you feel second, what you want to do third. Those are all the steps to channeling. The fourth is the trick to understanding how to separate and faction. Okay, so that was the right word. Factions and slip through the bars that hold you in your mind. She's telling me a lot of loose elements happen in me, and particularly me these days. She's saying I'm a very busy person. I'm very tired all the time. She's saying my muscles ache. She says that's a worrying thing. We don't know why you go see doctors that do this. She wants me to know, though, that she's quite all right with staying with me for a couple minutes. I have nothing else to do, she says. Okay, so I have a few questions. Sure. Oh, okay. So she asked me, you want to know why we're here on this planet? And I said, yeah, kind of. She says, okay. So we live just the way you live too. We're here on your planet, but we're not here physically, all of us on your planet. You may understand, though, when we go to different dimensions and carry things over, that carries kind of like a bridge to the rest of all those other dimensions that we left from. So if you were to say carry a memory into the next, you'd be carrying a little message that will travel to you when you can find that someday. You'll find out that this message is meant for you to understand. It's meant for all to understand that this is kind of the way things work. You have to understand how to recycle your love. You have to understand you're old enough to understand all of this. Clearly, you know that love does not work in unfortunate ways. It works in modest ways. It works in beautiful and wonderful ways. But we've got to understand that not everybody's going to see eye to eye. We're not going to see the world heal, if at the least as fast as we want it to be. We're going to see a lot of things damaged, and in fact, a lot of deaths. So many. We're looking at in the millions, in the probably next to 10 to 20 years. Millions, they said. Millions. And the thing that we've got to understand is that there will be a new pandemic. It will not be the same, will it? No. There will not be no pandemic. The risk is high for that, but we want to state and claim the risk for this pandemic is not the same as what you've been experiencing with COVID-19. The elections that we've been securing and making sure you understand how everything fits is meant for that. We wanted to have a loose narrative, somebody who was very phony, somebody who was very loose. And both of the presidents that were in the last election and this election were both of those. So we really didn't have a problem with choosing. One or the other, it could matter. We have a small percentage of we have very little percentage of people arguing on our ship of accumulating stuff that would make us understand this stuff any less than you. So, Adam, what would you want to know personally? How does the world know you live out, or how does the world know you live? The world knows through people like you. They know through people like me. They know through people like you. We provide all this information just for you. What more could you ask for? Oh, she just stated as she was leaving that she said, I am Pleiadian. Pleiadian. So that is a constellation where there was both stars fighting. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, they were fighting over information. He's saying, calm down, calm down. Yes. So, what I've got to talk to you about today, sir, is about your eating habits. Eating a plant based diet is not all that required for the healthy mind. You need to eat something that does have protein in it. We're always here for you. Don't be afraid to ask for what you know you need. If you want to do research, it's always up to you. The more mind blowing experiences are probably going to be doing that through meditation. I want to show you something, Adam. Whoa. I didn't know that. Okay. So, I'm removing the camera and I'm going to go to my board for more easier help. Because it's something that I do rely on because I get a little blocked sometimes due to stress and stuff. So I usually don't speak a lot outside of my mouth with the stuff coming through because it's something that would distract me from normally doing some of the stuff. So, okay. Gab a lot. It saves us too. Okay. So what would you? Yeah, it's not at all different using a Ouija board, but we like you using your mind mainly as I smell something. It smells like coke. Oh yeah, it's the spray that I smelled through. So it was good. uh yeah, this session, I think this session's done. I couldn't get a lot through, but I think what they were trying to give to me, I forgot about this because there was a couple days ago that I was going to do a session, but I've been so tired and worn out. Is that the the beings that work with us are still living here on some of the Earth planes that we already live on, blended in as us in different cultures. Um, ye- yeah, so a lot of the stuff I've done research on is that some of these are in Italy, California, um, some in the US, some states, Florida, um, England has some crazy amounts of caverns, which I heard about that, and I heard that it was more of a witches calling for something for that. So I don't know. Oh, I'm starting to get a headache. So I'm gonna call my guide right now. So, well, they just told me to get off the video, so I gotta go, guys. Okay. So, you guys, you stay healthy, you stay happy, and you stay golden. Remember, you're always a winner. Don't tell anybody else that you're don't let them tell you who you are. You know who you are. You are love. You are nothing less. You are so much above. You are love. You are this earth, this planet. So remember that everything that you've been through doesn't make you any less than. You know you can still try. You can be who you want to be. It's okay too to not be as perfect as you think. So I love you guys. Bye.